Not plain fucking water. Okay, so I want to relay an experience I had. Drove to LA for an appointment regarding my health. On the way up and down, 11,000 glute squeezes. Because I will not allow that chosen environment to set me back in any sense of the word. But there's a lot of other people out there. Well, I am in traffic. Well, I do have this job. Well, I have to commute. Well, I have to train. Turn every environment into your medicine. So that's what I did. Then it got even better. I got there early because I tend to do that with appointments. Love being early. 20 to 30 minutes to do whatever I want. No stress, no hassle, no panic. Love it. So I drove to a neighborhood, took my shirt off, sipped not plain fucking water while I let the sun hit as much of my skin as I could. Then I went in and had an amazing appointment with amazing people, came back, boom. Now, something else that may sound like somebody's appointment day when it comes to health or the natural approach or holistic, whatever the fuck that means. But let's hear what the majority of your appointment days probably sound like from a natural health, holistic health perspective. Let me see if I hit the nail on the head on this guy, or nails. I first went into my appointment and they read my chart based on my date of birth, location, time, and they told me, they gave me information regarding whether I should even be in this office or not, and then whether it was safe to even just go outside and interact with people in the world. So it was beautiful. It was a spiritual chart. It was amazing. They were diffusing this oil in the office, which was like supposed to charge me up and then also reduce my anxiety, and then it was amazing. They gave me this red drink that they said was like really expensive. And it's like the cure-all to everything. And it tasted like fruit juice. It was amazing. But it was like way more than that. The intake forms were like 69 pages. Filled out in detail to make me think that it was great. Made me think that like the more details, the better they are at like being able to give me what I need. It was fantastic. Oh, there were flat screens on the walls. The chairs were leather. You could tell it was like the finest leather. And there were like Persian rugs on the ground. The staff, there was like 12 people all doing one job in the front. It was amazing. It felt like it was literally like the best practice I'd ever seen. Then they started me with a 12-ounce glass of the most electric, structured, integrated vortex water, telling me that it would hydrate me. It was unbelievable. It was the best drink of water I've had since the last time I ate fucking butter. So I knew it was good. And also, next to the water jug, they had research justifying why that water was amazing. It was fantastic. It was like this confident approach to giving me water. It just seemed so confident. Then I go into the first room and somebody stretched me for 30 minutes. Oh, felt so great. I didn't have to do anything. I just laid on the table. Then I went into the next room where I laid on the ground and did some stretching per these charts on the wall, and this guru that had like functional movements, because functional range is different than any other range, because you're either functional or then there's this other stuff. So it's crazy because the word made me feel like I was doing a whole lot more than what I was. It was fantastic. It was really healthy. But I was stretching in that room. Then I go into the next room and I sat on a bike. There were many options though. One was laying down, one was sitting up. One, you didn't have to hold on to anything, but there was a screen. So I was like competing with other people. It was amazing. It like made me feel like I was a part of something, you know? And it really motivated me looking at this screen, riding a bike against a virtual person. God. And I sweat, so I knew it was healthy. And I was out of breath, so I knew it was really, really healthy. And doing something for fat loss. Because I was told if you sweat and you're out of breath, it's good for fat loss. Oh, and there was like this really upbeat, energetic music to have me like tricked into thinking that I'm like doing something even more, because sometimes there were times I didn't really want to be in that room. Then I went into another room and they had me jog. It was fantastic. It was just at a pace that was a little more than a walk. It was really just like falling, but I just like stopped myself from falling like thousands of times. It was awesome. It was another one that I was sweating pretty profusely, so clearly it was healthy. Then I went into this other room where they had all these laser lights. They had all these different colors of lights. And I was just to stand there and stare at these lights. And then stare at this screen and follow this object to train my eyes. It was amazing because it just felt like it was way better than the sun. And I was told actually that they isolated this wavelength which triggers this release of this release, so it was amazing. So I knew in another room that had research all over it justifying why these lights are better than anything outside of it that the sun could provide. It was amazing. What I left out was after you leave each room, you have 12 more ounces of that structured electrified vortex water, and then you're given another research paper to justify why that water hydrates you and why water in general is a good hydrator. So now I'm like 48 ounces of water in. Well, of course I have to go to the fucking bathroom. So I go into the bathroom and it's amazing. They're playing this podcast of this guru who's telling you how to be like a successful entrepreneur and the most successful healthy person ever. And it's like you gotta grind and you can't sleep. And he's telling you to put positive affirmations and you're amazing. I mean, it literally was like, no way would I ever know this unless I heard this podcast. But it was amazing. It had that, made me feel good while I went to the bathroom the first of 9 times. Then I go in this next room and they told me that I'm going to have to start moving on my own a little more in a functional manner, in a functional range. And because I don't know how to move, because my body has amnesia and muscles, that they're gonna have to put this tape on my skin to activate things. And they know though where to go based on these muscle tests, because muscle tests are like legit when it comes to this tape. But they asked me, first of all, does anything hurt and where does it hurt? And then they put a lot of tape around where I pointed where it hurt, but I don't really know if it hurts. It was just my glutes were a little sore from the drive up. Either way, I knew it was legit because I read the research papers next to the tape that they had before they put it all over my legs, my abdomen and my shoulders and my arms. So then I go into the next room and I was doing functional movements because I was told that there's a way to move that's dangerous and that our body shouldn't move in certain ways, which seemed puzzling to me because I was like, wait, I can move this way, like I'm able to, but this is a bad way to move? And they knew. Because they had matching shirts on, they knew. And they had their names on their shirts. I mean, I knew they knew. Plus, I read more research that they provided in that room. But there was functional movements versus just moving, which is way different. So I knew I was in the right hands. Oh, and then I sweat and I was really tired. So I knew it was healthy then. Now I go into the next room where they do a deep tissue massage, a lymph draining massage, a fascia stimulating massage, a nerve flossing massage, an erotic massage. It was all these different massages. It was great. I didn't know there were so many different massages. But the people always asked me like what was wrong with me before they'd even like put their hands on me. They would always ask like, what's wrong with you today? Almost as if they needed me to have something to tell them so that they could then do what they went to school trained to do. And I saw that they were trained because in each of these rooms, they all had these credentials, degrees, and certifications. So I knew it was a legit place. Plus flat screen TVs. Oh, and there was more research on why this type of massage is the best. Then I go into this other room and they're doing what's called acupuncture, I guess. Another room where they asked me what's wrong with me. And they wanted me to point to sore areas. They wanted me to tell them all these things that are wrong with me so that then they could go ahead and do what they do best. And again, they were all wearing the same shirts. They all had names on them. They all smiled really, really big. And they all seemed to be parroting the same script. So I knew that they were like genuine, honest, and truthful. And degrees and credentials on the walls. And there was more research for me to know that this kind of acupuncture was healthy. Then I went into this other room where I laid on the ground. They said it was yoga. But it was so crazy because I thought yoga was actually really challenging and stimulating to actually develop a human. But this was so easy and it was enjoyable. And I was laying on the ground with these other people. We really didn't do much at all. And it was for my energy. And it was amazing because if I was supposed to get uncomfortable, I was to stop. It was always crazy. It was like, I wanted to go hard, but they're like, no, you can't get uncomfortable. You always have to keep a smile. You always have to keep a calm face. And I didn't really feel like I was doing much, but they cranked up the heat in the room. So again, I started sweating, and you knew it's healthy when you start sweating. So now I go into this other room, and I thought, here it is. Oh, mind you, I continue to get 12 ounces of this electrified structured vortex water with research attached to the cups. Continue to go to the bathroom. Piss is like water clear, so I know it's healthy. And the more often you piss, the more toxins are coming out because, again, I read the research that they have provided in each room. Then I go into this next room that I thought we were going to have bread rolls and butter. Because I saw all these knives out there and I'm like, oh, this is my kind of room. But it wasn't. They squirted this stuff on my skin and then they started scraping me with these butter knives. It kind of hurt, but then they told me that they were supposed to break up this stuff because they know where the problems are and that they're going to go ahead and heal me and make me feel better and bring back my range of motion and all this other stuff. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. I really could have used a buttered roll though. Then we went into this next room where I had some medical imaging done. And I was told the more medical imaging and the stuff that we point out in the medical imaging tells me what's wrong with me. And as many different views as they could do, it really showed a lot of things that were wrong with me because they pointed it all out. And I knew that they were legit because they had credentials and degrees on the walls and they were all wearing the same shirt. And they had these words that they were saying that I really couldn't understand. I don't even think they understood them, but you knew it was like, it was real because the words were just insane. It sounded really threatening. And then also to give me specific care, besides the medical imaging I was told is absolutely necessary for me, they did labs. They did stool and blood work, and the results came back right away. And then they knew exactly what supplements, oils, and herbs to give me based on my labs. Well, because it was based on labs, and it was based on my stool, my blood, saliva, hair, I knew it was legit because it was for me. So the supplements, oils, and herbs, they threw at the low numbers, and I knew I was taken care of. Again, they gave me more research to read, more credentials, licenses, and degrees on the walls, and everybody was wearing the same shirt. And more flat screens. Finally, I can't do this. Finally, I leave. I'm on my way out, and they have one more specialist because I was told that the more specialists you have, the better that these people take care of your body because they're specialists. And you need to specialize in some area of the body because the body itself is not specialized. It's the sections that are all specialized. So before I left, there was one more person that went ahead and wanted to show me exactly how to sit, how to walk, how to carry things, how to open cupboards, how to open jars, how to swing a golf club, how to throw a rock. It was crazy. They taught me how to move in my life so that I would never encounter any issues because there was a specific way to move and do things in life, and this person knew exactly how to do it. And I knew this person was legit because, again, she was wearing the same shirt as everybody else. And she had these structured pants on and these special shoes. Actually, she had bare feet, so I knew to trust her. Plus, there were degrees and credentials on the wall. Now I'm ready to leave, and I'm like, oh man, how much am I gonna have to owe for this visit? because my God, this seems like a lot, especially that juice that I got in the very first, that red juice that's like the cure-all to everything, that tasted really just like a bunch of fucking fruit. And they said I didn't know anything. It was covered by my health insurance. So my God, what a great thing that I completely didn't owe anything for this visit. It was as if I didn't even really do anything. Health is so easy, and it really is complicated. I'm glad I have all these people in my life to point out all these things that are wrong. Hey. To point out all these things that are wrong with me and make it sound just like daunting and like an avalanche of information that there's no way I could ever function or live in this world without these specialists, without these people. So I'm really thankful for what's out there right now, because health is complicated. We need medical imaging and tests and labs more than ever. We need more therapists, trainers, specialists, doctors, naturopaths, whatever the titles are. We need more stuff done to us from the outside, more passive things, more programs, more systems, more algorithms, more stuff to buy to be the healthiest versions of ourselves. That I really don't know how I made it this far without this natural health group, without this holistic health group. And I am certainly glad, and I hope they continue to keep creating. Oh shit, I forgot. This is like an important room. Wait, this is like a really important room. There was one more room where I went in and the person had like a lab coat on, so you knew that they were official, and they did this PRP and stem cell injection. I mean, my God, the research they had that I read before I went and did this, and what they told me it would do to my body, it was like magic. It was like magic in a syringe, magic in a vial, and I was sold right then and there. But it's crazy because I know it works, because I'm gonna have to keep coming back and repeating this. But it's okay because I'm not really paying anything. So it's all good, but I didn't want to leave that out. That was like one of the most important rooms, the PRP stem cell injection room. Okay, so I hope this video got you to understand that health is super complicated. You need to employ as many people as you can in these worlds. You need to have as many therapists, doctors. You need to have supplement drawer at your house. You need to spend the highest amount of money with the most amount of people, selling the most amount of shit, because health is not an inside job, and you were not born able. I almost can't even joke. Obviously this is fucking satire to the max. 18 minutes of this shit. This is good. Part 1 and 2. Health is very simple. It's not easy, but it's very, very simple. Do not outsource any part of what you're gonna do. It's all what you do. You can give me this shit that people help point the direction, give you tools. That's fine, but it better goddamn work. And if it's not working, what are you doing? Because we're lost. Both sides are poaching and hijacking everyone right now. The natural holistic side, the allopathic side, the fucking freedom fighters, everyone is up for grabs. And everyone's leeching and vulturing you right now to go to these fucking platforms and sell you more shit. Be very aware, because there's more coming. Health is not complicated. You are not diseased or sick, not ever. You were born perfect. What you're feeling, what they've told you is a flaw, is actually the perfect engine inside you, that perfect intelligence inside you. It's always got your back. It's always trying to get your attention and get you to stay here and adapt and regenerate to whatever you've chosen to put it in, whatever environment you've chosen. You are able. Boom. P.S. I had to do a wardrobe change for this next part. There were 2 rooms that I forgot about. One, it was called Therapy by Physical Means, or this physical therapy room. And again, the credentials and licenses on the walls and the pictures of the skeletons on the walls, it was fantastic. But what I ended up doing, it didn't seem real physical at all. I just kind of laid there as they did They ice cup, they did ultrasound, they did laser, they did vibration therapy, they did this wax thing, they stretched me. It was basically a combination of all the other rooms, just thrown into one big room. And then I got excited because I thought I was actually gonna do something, but instead they had me do these like basic moves, like 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 20, telling me that it was gonna get me, one, these were gonna heal me, and two, get me ready for life. It was the craziest thing because it really wasn't that difficult. So I was so excited I didn't really have to do that much. And I left there feeling pretty good. So that was the therapy through physical means room. Then I went into the next room where it was chiropractic. And the gentleman in there clearly knew what he was doing because one, again, he was wearing the same shirt as everybody else. Two, more pictures of the body and skeletons on the walls. And he even had a model of like a skeleton. So it was a legit place. He adjusted my ankles, he adjusted my knees, both hips, my low back, 3 parts in the middle of my spine, 2 on my neck. He adjusted my shoulder, he pulled on my toes, he pulled on my legs. And then he hugged me when I was done, so I totally knew that this was like legit. And I heard sounds. And because I heard sounds, I know something was happening. And he called it an adjustment. So there was like 8 or 9 of those. And then he said that there were some other areas that were too hard to get to because he couldn't locate them and move the bone, which blew me away, that like they had the power to move the bone, but yet out in life, I'm not just moving bones all over the place. So it was really, I knew I was in good hands. But he said that they could do adjustments with me being put under. So it's called adjustments under anesthesia. And I was like, my God, this is fantastic. As long as my insurance covers it, I'll do it. Because clearly, the stuff that he couldn't get is the stuff that I definitely need. So I forgot about those 2 rooms. And how dare I? Those were 2 of maybe the most important rooms. Healing is not complicated. I'm not saying it's fucking easy. It's not supposed to be easy. You are supposed to be 100% accountable and responsible for your expression of your health and your healing. That's it. You can use people to point the direction. You can use tools, but it damn well better put you in a position better this year, this day, this month than you were last year. Because healing is complete. Healing is just this one road going forward. It doesn't take a side road. It doesn't reverse. Your body doesn't attack itself. Healing is healing is healing. That's all it knows to do. Find the right people. Find the right tools, utilize them, and never forget that you heal you, period.